Hi friends, and thanks for joining in on today's video. I really wanted to talk through some mindfulness techniques and to talk about some of the different types of meditation that I've found really valuable and how we can practice these different sorts of meditation in order to meet our own needs. So finding the right type of meditation is really important because everybody has different needs, everybody has different preferences, and as much as we really want to just pretend that we are comfortable sitting in a dark room with our eyes closed, that's not always the best thing that will help us find that state of calm. So it's really important for us to really explore these different types and use what we can to connect with ourselves in a deeper way. So breaking out into this explanation of the different types of meditation in general, they can be categorized in two different ways. And the ways that I've found for my research is that there are concentrative meditations and there are mindful meditations. And if you're thinking about concentrative, those are meditations that are brought forward with a more specific intent in mind. So in concentrative, you can think of meditations that include a lot of chanting, a lot of repeating mantras, and that's what I would say is more of a concentrated versus mindful meditation is more so when you're trying to tune into that stillness. You're really letting those thoughts pass. You're not really focusing in on them. So it's really valuable for us to touch on why mindfulness and meditation are so important and why finding the right type of meditation would be beneficial for you. So I know there are a lot of studies out there and you could do endless research on the topic. There's still a lot of studies being done on how it truly affects the brain, and it's really hard to really put qualifying data for all of these topics, but the underlying thing that we know and we found is that meditation and mindfulness really allow us to take a step back from that perspective of the self and step into that driver's seat and kind of view things from an outside perspective, right? So we're not viewing it from the egoic I am perspective, but we're viewing it as a way to connect ourselves with our surroundings, with the creatures around us, with the people around us, and that really gives us a sense of interconnectedness, which will allow us to better create our experiences. So if you think about it, our minds are what tell us how things are. We do not perceive reality as it truly is. We perceive it as we interpret it to be. So that is all to say that we are the narrators and the creators of our story. If we are in a state of mind that is allowing us to feel more wholeness, to feel more connectedness, we're going to be coming at our everyday decisions, our everyday choices from a more compassionate, a more understanding, a more wholesome place, because we are understanding things not just from our egoic I stand here, I perspective. It gives us a chance to step into that realization that we are on this planet for something greater than ourselves. Every day, we're interpreting the world through our own lenses. We do not interpret the world how it truly is, we're actively constructing it. And we also construct ourselves. Every day, we choose how we want to show up in the world. We choose the foods we eat, we choose the people we interact with. And I know that's not to say that it can be chosen by everyone, because I understand that socioeconomic limitations also affect us tremendously, but we can in those moments come to things with a place of more compassionate understanding, and through those moments decide how we can better ourselves and better improve our situations by taking mindful actions. So another way I really wanted to highlight the effects of mindfulness on our created experience is I wanted to highlight a quote that I think puts it really beautifully. And the quote goes, "There is a world as it is, and there is a world as we see it." So I think that this quote really puts things into perspective. It recognizes the power of being able to step out of our own realities and interpreting things from an egoic standpoint where we are viewing ourselves as the target of our lives, and really allows us to recognize that this is another part of the human experience. And once we're able to recognize this emotion, once we're able to recognize that these feelings are part of an experience, then we are able to determine how we want to respond versus just letting those emotions take on our entire experience and letting those emotions react for us. And there's a study that I found that I thought had really beautiful findings, and it was done in 2007 at UCLA by psychologist Matthew Learman. And this study really pointed out the correlations between naming an emotion and the effects of that. So, this was a study done on 30 people, and the basis of it was that these 30 people were presented with different photographs of faces that had different facial expressions, and these people in the study were asked to assign an emotion to the facial expressions of the people in the photographs. So, what they found was that when these participants were labeling negative emotions, such as anger, that stirred activity in the right ventral lateral prefrontal cortex. And they compared that to the activity in the amygdala, and that is the region of the brain that is responsible for processing emotions. So, that's where we feel those emotions for ourselves. And so, the correlation that they found was that when participants were noticing these negative emotions, the activity in the amygdala was actually reduced and it was calming down. And so the correlation that they found was that when we put a name to that emotion, when we are recognizing that emotion, there's a trigger in our brain that gives us the ability to feel that emotion less. So moving on to naming the types of meditation, and the first one that I'll go through is guided or mindfulness meditations. Guided meditations are typically meditations that are led by a meditation facilitator or someone else, and they are guiding you through a practice and really allowing you to tune into your own body, guiding you in the sense that they are reminding you to notice yourself noticing, and also instructing you to let thoughts pass you by and really asking for you to focus on the present moment without judgment, so that you can cultivate that sense of awareness and that emotional balance by just being. The second one that I'm going to name is breath awareness meditations, and these are meditations that typically observe the breath as it is. So it's not necessarily always breath work. It could be tuning into your breath as it is in general, your normal pace of breathing, but just using that breath as the anchor for gathering awareness. And breath is something that we don't necessarily always have to think about. Breath is something that just happens. So when you're tuning into that breath through that experience, it really allows you to cultivate a deep connection with it, and in doing so really helps you anchor into that embodiment. It will help with stress reduction, it'll help you enhance your focus, and it'll also improve your breathing patterns, because you might notice that maybe you're holding your breath for whatever reason, and it'll allow you that ability to connect with something that is always present. The third type of meditation I'll talk through are loving kindness meditations, and these typically generate a feeling of love, a sense of compassion. They really help to evoke empathy and create social connections and reawaken that sense of interconnectedness with yourself and those around you. So this type of meditation is useful in promoting emotional healing and really creating that feeling of trust with yourself, with others, and establish a sense of community. The fourth type that I'll mention is Transcendental Meditation, and this is performed by silently repeating mantras to transcend ordinary thinking and access deeper states of consciousness. This facilitates a sense of unity with the universe and promotes spiritual growth. The goal of this type of meditation is to exceed the human form and connect on a deeper level with clarity of mind, enhanced relaxation, and reduced stress levels. So the fifth type of meditation I'll talk about is called Zen Meditation. And this type of meditation is practiced by sitting in silence and observing your thoughts as they are. The goal here is to observe them without attachment, so noticing them but realizing that they are not there for you to cling to. This type of meditation really cultivates a state of deep self-awareness. It provides you with a place to self-reflect and really cultivates that sense of inner peace with the ultimate goal of finding liberation from suffering. So the sixth type of meditation is called body scan meditation, and the goal of this meditation is to systematically scan the body for any feelings, any tensions, any discomforts, and asks you to notice them without judgment. So this really is an act of cultivating awareness and really tuning into the present moment and gathering a sense of acceptance for what is, so that you can go beyond what is and experience that mind-body connection and use that for emotional healing. The seventh type that I'll talk through is walking meditation. This is a meditation that is done, as the title instructs, by walking. So what you'll do here is you're going to be mindfully walking. As you walk, taking more notice of how your steps and sensations affect your experience. It really is a time where you can ground into your environment as well. So not only can you do this to foster a deeper connection with yourself, but you can also do this to foster a deeper connection with your environment or the natural world or the city or whatever environment that you are experiencing. So the next one I'll talk about is Chakra Meditation. And what this type of meditation aims to do is to focus that mindful energy and that mindful awareness to balance the energetic systems throughout the body. So I did a video on that before, and I'll link them here as well. But essentially, you're using things like visualization, breath work, or chanting to really tune into that energetic system, and in turn, using that to build that sense of mind-body connection that is holistically viewed as healing and promoting that overall alignment and well-being. So the next one I'll talk about is guided visualization meditation. And this type of meditation utilizes visual imagery and mental images to guide you through a positive healing experience. So it really allows you to tap into that creativity, really allows you to step into the emotions of you deciding what you want something to look like and embodying how that feels. So you're really creating your experience in a very visual way here. Okay, and the last one that I'll talk through is Yoga Nidra. And this might technically also be a yoga practice, but overall, the main basis of Yoga Nidra is it's a guided and visualization meditation. So you're going to be taken through an experience that aims to relax you while still cultivating a sense of awareness. It's typically done laying down or in a very comfortable, relaxed position, and you are typically doing this type of meditation before you go to sleep or before a time where you are going to just fully let yourself relax into a state of being. So, the beauty in the practice of meditation is that we all have the opportunity to achieve these relaxed state of minds. It just takes a little bit more practice in the beginning, and really finding the type of meditation that works for you is part of that. If you want to achieve the ability to be more mindful in daily activities and reach that place where you can consistently step back into yourself, especially for beginners, it's recommended that when learning how to meditate, when learning how to find that sense of calm and stillness, that state where your brain is generating alpha and theta waves and produces the same feelings and the same experiences as you would when you first get out of a hot bath or that relaxing feeling right before you go to sleep. For beginners, it typically will take about 30 minutes for your brain to get to that relaxed place. And for more experienced meditators, it can be something that occurs within less time. But the more you practice, the more you consistently put your brain in that place to find that relaxation, the more connected those neural pathways will be, and the easier it'll be for you to just drop into that state of calm whenever you need it. All right, so thank you guys for watching, and I hope you found that list of the different types of meditation to be helpful. I really encourage you to explore any of the practices that really stood out to you. I myself have been meditating for over 9 years, and I have found every experience that I've had to be different and also beneficial to me in a different way. So I really do encourage it. There are so many beautiful studies done that show how mind-body connection can really help improve overall emotional health and recreate that emotional balance so that you're able to process and generate feelings in a better way. And yeah, thank you again for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one.